too.
No.
No, she won't let me.
She can do it herself.
Well, I just want that clear divide between commissioner and
Oh.
staff.
Yeah.
Otherwise it gets too confusing.
Recording in progress.
Alrighty, now we're good to go.
I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Parks and Fields Commission meeting for October. I invite you all to rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there amendments or questions about the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
I would like to make a motion to,
Oh, you gonna add something?
I'd like to switch item 8A and 7A so that we do 8A first.
Not a problem.
Annabelle, that's you.
We'll take care of the important things first, and then we'll go to the second part
Go to
later.
the boring.
Discussion. All in favor of, vote on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
We didn't get a second.
Oh, a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Michelle. Got me on a word. I make a motion, then I don't know what to do.
It's almost Friday.
All right, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
A motion to approve the agenda as modified.
A motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion. Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Minutes from the September 21st meeting. Questions, comments, corrections?
I'll make a motion to accept the September 21st minutes.
Thank you. Is there
I
a
second.
Second. Discussion. All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Stay. I wasn't here.
You weren't here. All right. Thank you for those excellent minutes, Jessica. You get something. You are on a roll. You are on a roll. Just outstanding. Okay, open forum. Chance for citizen participation.
I'm gonna be honest with you, the only person on the call is Councilmember Nichols, so Councilmember Nichols, if you have anything you'd like to add, now is your opportunity. Otherwise, we do have some audience members, but I know that they're here for 8A, but if you have anything else you'd like to address, now would be your time. And it does look like Councilmember Nichols unmuted, but I don't know if he...
Let's let the fun part of the night begin.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Mhm.
All right, item 8A.
All right. So I'm going to start off the show, if that's okay, Annabelle. I'm going to steal your thunder a little bit, but just to start. So in the audience today, we have Annabelle. She wrote Mayor McKee a letter requesting a bike rack at Wildflower Park because currently there is not one. The funding would be a committed external donation that we're working with an outside person on. So it wouldn't come out of park dedication, which is exciting. It would just be kind of a wash. And the funding would also cover the installation if necessary, if Public Works decides that that's the route that we have to go. But I will let Annabelle give her piece because she's the one who wants the bike rack.
So Annabelle, do you want to go up to the microphone? Maybe with your mom or dad?
I'll go with you.
They'll help you.
Jess, the microphone's on, right? Okay.
Can you just tell us what you want?
Cool.
Why did you say you wanted a bike rack at the park?
When you go to the park, what do you do with your bike now? Just stand it on a tree? Oh, just lay it in the grass. Okay.
And what do all your friends do with their bikes? Yeah. And what happened to your bike?
I put it laid down and then I broke the wheel.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a need.
Yeah.
So what do you think would help solve all the bikes on the ground at the park?
Bike rack.
Perfect. What a great idea.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay.
How old are you?
6.
6 in what
Wow.
grade?
Oh my gosh, what a big girl.
Yeah, nice
Good
job,
job, sweetheart.
Annabelle.
Real good job. Excellent.
Thank you for coming, Annabelle. We appreciate you. Good job.
You did great.
Annabelle, you did a really nice job. Thank you for having that wonderful idea, and thank you for bringing it to the Parks and Trails Commission and for making the mayor support it for you. That's just excellent. One of the things that city parks are supposed to do is reflect the needs of the community. And oftentimes the community is very quiet on such things. There may be things that they want, but they don't ask. And here's a case where a young resident of the community said, I would like this, and we can do that. And so we can put this bike rack in. Well, city council will approve it, I'm sure. We don't have the authority to say absolutely, but we'll pass this on. And I would like to have a motion to recommend that we pass this on to the city council with the suggestion that it be approved.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
I will second that.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming in and telling your story. You did a good job, Annabelle.
Very good.
Yep,
There's not many first graders that can say they went to a public meeting and presented.
it's true. It's true.
You are fancy and so smart.
You have to tell your teacher.
Yeah. Maybe you'll get extra credit.
And actually, these are recorded. And so you could go out on the city website and find that spot, and then you can show people what you did at city council meeting, or at the Parks and Board. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And don't feel like you have to stay, but you're more than welcome to stay.
It gets really exciting from here.
We are going camping, so.
All right.
Oh, you got your camper up there? I saw it. I thought, cool.
We swung by here on our way.
Awesome. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you guys.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Another request next month.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you guys.
That's sweet.
Very sweet.
Uh-huh. I love it.
Yeah.
These are the things that, this is why I want to go into this field. Because, something as simple as a bike rack can make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How cool is that?
Yeah.
What was that?
it is. Yeah. What a brave little girl. Because it's intimidating,
Uh-huh.
very much.
Probably a good thing we had a little smaller of a...
It feels kind of scary, so,
Oh, yeah, Phil's terrifying.
All right, item 7A.
Alrighty. You'll notice it's a very similar slide to the last time I brought the RFPQ for Master Park Planning to you guys. What has occurred since the last meeting, September 29th at 2 p.m. was the deadline for submissions for the request for submissions for the proposals and qualifications from consulting firms. Staff reviewed the submissions on October 2nd through the 6th. And then on the 10th, we had 4 agencies come in to interview, and we interviewed with the subcommittee, which consisted of myself, Public Works Director Kevin Mattson, Commissioner Friedrich, and Mayor McKee. Councilmember Nichols was also included in the information. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the Tuesday that we had scheduled when it worked for everyone, so he couldn't come. It wasn't that we didn't want him there. But then future steps. So currently, it's not on the slideshow, but we're bringing it to you. The subcommittee is making the recommendation for HKGI. I will note it is the more expensive of the options. However, the reasoning behind choosing them was included in the packet, but they had a very good idea of what the city of Corcoran seems to need, the future and growth that we have with these parks, and they did have a good point of how they can minimize the costs with engineering, and so they were budget conscious, which was a nice added bonus as well, and especially something that as we move forward we're going to want to monitor. So with that, the idea is that hopefully you guys will make a motion tonight to recommend selection of either HKGI or one of the other ones included, if you feel otherwise. And then it will go to City Council next week on Thursday. And then end of October, we'll work through a master services agreement with the consulting firm, assuming that council also motions to approve. And then it will come back either November 9th or the 23rd to a city council meeting for final approval of the contract. That's kind of the timeline. Do we have any questions? Is there anything I can help answer? Or maybe Commissioner Friedrich, she was also there.
Do you have any great ideas there or thoughts?
I think it was just, it's very interesting because the questions that they asked were very pertinent to like what we were kind of looking for. I think in a helping someone have us help master plan the park. And they had insightful questions, I think that even made me feel like I could share some information from just like how we started the whole process to where we ended up. Because they asked questions about the history, and I felt like they just really, I don't know, really good communicators.
They had a strong focus on community engagement.
Yes.
How to engage with the community.
Yes.
They were also, I want to say it was them that they were mindful of the previous community engagement that we had done and how to incorporate that moving forward into the future so that we're not reworking the wheel necessarily, which was nice.
So how many firms submitted application?
There were a total of 7, and then we had 3 hours for interviews, and we invited back 4 agencies: Anderson, HKGI, SRF, and WSP. So, and I can name the other 3 if you'd like, but.
I mean, it looked like all 4 of these were firms that do business in the area. They're all,
Right.
so that, I think that says something that companies would like to work in Corcoran. So that's a good thing.
I will note on the front of the HKGI proposal, the bottom right photo of the splash pad, I want to say that's the one in Rogers that we were basing our model off of too.
Yes, yeah, we've seen that picture before, haven't we?
Yep.
Time and time again, I think, on my slideshows.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the cost on this one?
So it's not a set cost necessarily.
Or guesstimate?
Well, right, so it's hourly rates.
Okay,
So the top one was $2.10 an hour
okay.
for the main point of contact. I can pull up the next highest, give me just a second. I just have to find the right folder.
And did they have 3 people that would be intermittently working depending on what the need was?
She was the main point of contact, but the construction, so she being Gabrielle was the main point
Okay,
of
the
contact.
top, yeah, yep, sorry.
And then Tim was more construction oriented, and then Hannah, I think you have to flip a little further, is the landscape architect. So she does a lot of the drawings and design.
Okay.
And community involvement, I felt like she had
That might have been
experience
her as well.
in that.
So did they give you a guesstimate, though, of how many hours they're talking?
We
I mean,
did-
there's got to be some.
So the estimate that we were going off of is about 5 hours a week,
Mhm.
is what we envisioned for like the master park planning. Now, when we get more into a specific problem, or not problem, project, if we get more into a specific project, those hours will likely increase, but that'll be
Right.
dedicated to that project specifically. So we're envisioning about 5 hours a week. Let's see here. I have to drag this over. My apologies. So, I'm gonna zoom in so that we can make it nice and big. So this is HKGI. We're looking at that 210 for Gabrielle. This is just their general rates, so a principal can be up to 290. She's coming in at that 210. So the lower end of it, which is good. WSB, Jeff was our main point of contact, so you're looking closer to 172. SRF, our main point of contact was Stuart Crosby, so that 162.45. And then this one was 184. Joe was our main point of contact. So there is a difference. We think that the connection and the value that is being brought want me to pull up more information, I'm more than happy to do that, if there's anything additional you want to look at. It was exciting to be in the interviews as well. I think that everyone came with really good ideas. There was just more collaboration, it felt, on this front. And more specific projects that were relatable to the projects we envision in the near future.
Well, I guess, you guys were there, you listened, you got the insight, and I trust your judgment.
Yeah.
And don't have a problem with it.
It would be nice if the city could negotiate a slightly lower rate.
And we can look into that as we work the master services agreement.
Yeah.
If you want to include that in like a motion, I don't know if that's necessary. I could just probably include it in like the staff report to council, but.
Sure.
But I think, the qualifications for these folks looked outstanding. They're
Yeah.
well experienced. I always think that a smaller city like Corcoran, you may get some folks without the same level of experience. It's a place where people can try out their wings. Here it looks like we have some really experienced people, and I think that would serve us well.
I think the value of Corcoran is that a lot of them did mention, you're starting from a fresh slate. Like, you haven't screwed anything up. We're not fixing things, we're starting it, right? So getting someone in who is well-versed and has that experience is going to jumpstart us, I hope. I'm just really excited.
Really? No. That's awesome. I love it.
Further comments or observations?
This SRF one, what did you not like about them? Because it looks like they're kind of like in with Three Rivers and all these others, and they're doing the bridge over Rogers. I would have certainly thought that would be the one we'd choose. I don't even know what he charges. I forgot what you said. But
Their presentation was very heavily focused on the boardwalk.
okay.
So in that regard, it was more HKGI offered additional projects that were more related. In the grand scheme, the boardwalk is one project,
Yeah.
and we have so many parks that likely won't have the boardwalk.
Okay.
So,
So a bigger scope when they presented to us. And the communication piece, I think, was important too, the community communication, like that, there is a person in their company that's dedicated to like assisting with that type of thing.
These all look like
I mean,
very
you guys look
professional
like they're
firms.
Mm-hmm.
they were all great, don't
Yep.
get me wrong. It was just,
Yeah.
This one.
one of them just seemed to fit the needs of the city and what we have coming down the pipeline a little better.
Good look at Maple Grove, but where'd it go? Got Maple Grove, I see though. I mean, maybe they just put in the ones that were in the area, but.
They did ask some pretty pertinent questions too, I feel like, when we were having the discussion about, what are we looking for them to provide us? Do you want someone to just take what you currently have and expand on that a little bit? Or do you want feedback on, hey, this is a really not such a good idea, or this is a great idea? So they really kind of went more in depth on what we currently had, and they recognized what our current plan was, which I thought was pretty unique. So I just felt like collaboratively, communication-wise, I just felt that they were the strongest company.
It seemed like less reworking that wheel and more, let's take what you have and just enhance it, right? Let's keep working this and make it even better and then fulfill it.
Sounds like a case where all of the work that we did to get the plan as far as we did, that we have our city parks and trails plan in place and it's existed, is now paying those benefits. We don't have to go back. We don't have to start over or start,
Right.
which would be a whole lot more money. It'd be a much bigger deal.
Yeah. They would provide us though, I mean, it was also discussed like, if there's something that they see that is like, you are definitely heading down the wrong path with that, they would gently bring that up and explain, here's an option, or here's how we can create this so it's not like, for example, if you had a pickleball court right next to a bunch of houses, that's just an example, you probably won't want that because pickleball's kind of loud. So, different things like that.
Good. Further comments? All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
If I was picking on paper, you know,
Yeah.
which was what we're doing, you know.
Right.
I mean, we obviously weren't there for it, so we have no idea. But, you know, if you guys heard it all and you think that's the best part, then I guess so. But just looking through all the pamphlets, I had my own choice. I thought for sure when we got here, that'd be it.
Okay,
There's
a motion to approve the recommendation of the committee with an indication that we would like to have some negotiations for a better rate.
I'll make that motion.
I think
Is it-
he made a motion.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
I thought you were looking for
I'm
it.
looking for that
Oh,
motion.
perfect, okay, sorry.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, in a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Judy. All right, discussion. All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
This is a big deal.
Yeah,
A lot of people out there looking forward to it besides you.
super exciting, yeah.
I just want to make this place so good.
And it will be.
And I
I'm
just thought
so
it was too-
excited.
The chance in the what featured. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Peaches.
Don't you want staff who are excited to come and work?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. All right, active planning applications. This list is short. I like that.
That's what happens when we have consecutive meetings.
Yeah. Well, who's ever cleaning these up is.
This one. Look at all the little weird changes. Just
Well,
what's
you'll
going
notice
on.
that Dwight is the one, he's our planning technician,
Yeah.
he's been putting together the reports now. It used to be Natalie, but she handed that off, so big shout out to him, I'll let him know that you guys appreciate it.
All right, recreational supervisor update.
That'd be me.
That is you.
Alrighty, so things I've been working on. I went to the Minnesota Recreation and Park Association conference, and I've also been attending a training. It is 5 weeks long, but it's only 1 day a week, so it's really only 5 days. They highlight 5 different subjects, so this week was programming, next week is facilities, the following week is legislation, governance, and something else, and then planning and zoning and development.
Is this an online?
No, it's in person. So
Where? Where do you get to
it
go?
varies. So this last week was in St. Louis Park. Next week is in Elk River. Another week is in Plymouth. It's just kind of throughout the metro. It's called the Emerging Recreation Recreation Leadership Institute. So they highlight full days, but they highlight topics. They bring in recreation professionals. I met the director of marketing, I think was her title, for Three Rivers. So they bring in a bunch of really smart people and they teach you the basics and a couple of steps above the basics, which I know some of the basics, but when we get into that governance and all of that fun stuff, and funding was another, and partnerships and something else. There's a lot of good information in it that I'm hoping to take back and utilize both in park projects and as programming continues. So it's a good way to get us started and ready to go for the park project. Other things, we wrapped up fall baseball. We're working with the Three Rivers Park District. You may have noticed the cooperative agreement has not gone yet. It got pulled because there were a couple of things that staff wanted to look at. But it sounds like it should be going next week. I know I said that last time, but this time I feel very certain. The RFPQ, Master Park Planning, and then working on the Holiday Toy and Food Drive. So technically year 3, but the second year we've been able to do it if we can get it off the ground again and not have a thunderstorm in
Is that the
December.
drive around one? Was
The
it
one-
ice one year too? Was it ice?
It was
Or was
a
it just rain?
thunderstorm in December, and then this last year it was snowy, slushy, but
Yeah.
it worked, and we got a lot of toys and food donations. It was fabulous.
Good.
It was so good. So I hope we get the same turnout. If you're interested in putting your neighborhood on the list, we do have it live on the website. Otherwise, you can contact me as well.
Cool. Good job.
So what did you do with your spare time?
Well, I just kind of sat there.
You're a busy person.
No, I got other things if you want me to add to the list.
I
We're
know.
also starting the process for hiring ice rink attendants.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
good. We're
Don't
gonna-
worry, there's more on the list.
I know that, there is a lot on the list. There's a
Yes,
lot.
there is. You're a busy girl. Thank you.
Thank you.
You betcha.
City council report. Jeremy, what do you have to tell us about city council?
Well, I think the major item is we're closing in on interviews for our new city administrator. That should be happening coming up here in about 2 weeks. We think we have some good candidates based upon the broader pool we were able to attract this time. So it'll be good to talk to those folks in person and see what they can bring to the city of Corcoran. We had a couple of concept plans that we reviewed in September. The first one is called South Fork Village, and that is just to the east of the Bellwether neighborhood on a commercial plot. Council feedback was broadly negative on that one because it was predominantly a multifamily residential development rather than commercial as that particular plot is guided. So feedback from council wasn't positive in that case. The second one was the Kiranimi Jensen concept plan, which is a open space preservation proposal coming in just to the west of 116 and County Road 30. That one was more well received, so we may see some further activity with that one. We spent a fair bit of time discussing longer range financial plans. The city appears to be on relatively sound footing, so that was excellent to hear from our consultants at Northland Securities. And then on October 12th, it was relatively quiet. There was some discussion with council around what kinds of options we might have to deal with Met Council's desire for higher levels of density and how that could work with our goal for having more open spaces. There is a current restriction where in order for us to exclude open space from density calculation, we would be required to make preservation of certain spaces mandatory in code, which council has not wanted to require. We would prefer it to be a voluntary optional activity, and we've sort of set up our PUD system to encourage that. But if we operate in that fashion with current guidance from Met Council, we can't consider those areas. We can't not consider those areas as part of the density calculation. So we gave guidance to Met Council, asking them to reconsider, and it sounds like they are open to potentially revising that when they do their next rounds of updates before the 2050 planning cycle starts. So we're hoping for some relaxation of those guidelines. But we would also hope that there could be allowance for the number of higher density developments that Corcoran is likely to see in the coming years, that perhaps we can still stay more reasonable in terms of preserving more open space. That was what I thought might be of interest to the commission. Are there any other items listed you would like me to try to address for you?
How's work on the budget going?
We were able to, I believe it's final now. Staff did present final budget numbers to council. We set our maximum levy level. That could still be reduced a little bit further down the road as we get farther into the process. There will be around, I believe it was about 12% overall budget growth. Tax rates are not increasing, and growth is actually below the level of inflation and population growth we've experienced. So staff is doing a really good job of sharpening their pencils and operating within the natural growth of the city without having to increase any rates for residents or businesses.
Good, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Could we ask one more question?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Could we expand on the Charter Commission amendment, what that was about?
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's a good point. So the Charter Commission entertained a discussion around whether the mayoral term should remain 2 years. So the current election cycles for city councilors are 4-year terms with the mayor on a 2-year term, which results in a mayor and 2 councilors up every 2 years. So the majority of the council can turn over in any given election. And given the extra duties that the mayoral office entails, having such a short term can be a disincentive for anyone to want to hold that role. So there was a request coming out of Charter Commission for council to consider agreeing to amend the city charter to bring the mayor's term to a 4-year to match the council term. Broadly within the discussion that we had on that topic, it seemed like there was not any dissenting view from what the recommendation from the Charter Commission was. And we're working toward setting public hearings to consider that formally.
Good. Thank you. Good question.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
Jeremy, on that Sunram, the Sunram conditional use permit or the interim use permit,
Yeah.
there's cattails in there. How is he gonna put dirt in there? That's a real lowland and there's cattails. I thought that was like the holy grail.
I don't think that the area they're disturbing is wet. I believe that they're expanding their area to the east, where there's currently farm field. I don't believe they're disturbing wetland.
Okay, I think you better go look again.
That might be a question for Natalie, but
Okay.
as far as I know, that wasn't a point of discussion. That wasn't brought up by staff or the applicant.
I bet not. Okay, thank you.
I can
Absolutely.
let Natalie know you've got some questions about it and let her know and get it on your radar at least.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to CC you? That way
Sure,
she can-
that'd be great. I'm just concerned because there is cattails. There's visual, it's cattails. It's right across from Park.
Garden Club report. Michelle, do you want to do a Garden Club report?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. So we had our mulch delivered. It is sitting on the north side of City Hall right now. Recreation Supervisor Christensen Buck ordered it for us and got us a deal. So that was good.
Good
Jess
Dealer.
is much shorter.
Dealer.
And I believe we have scheduled with the Garden Club to spread the mulch on Sunday this weekend, is what the plan is.
Sunday at 1 o'clock if anyone would like to join, because it
Yes.
doesn't look like there's been a lot of yeses, so I'm trying to do a casual plug.
Please feel free. Yes.
Great. All right, thank you. Park Dedication Fund.
Yeah, that's it.
Question?
Answer.
Well, maybe we've asked this before, but, okay, the park dedication monies, is that just going into a general fund, and so that's why we're not seeing any interest on it?
The interest for 2023 has not been allocated is what I got told. Currently, we are down one of our finance team. They're on leave. So we're kind of struggling. I keep telling you, yeah, we'll get that updated, and then it's like we
Okay.
take another hit. Go ahead.
I'll just add, I know at one of the council meetings, Counselor Nichols requested that we do a review of how our interest is accumulated, and I think the park fund was one of the ones that they were going to look at.
Okay.
Probably first quarter of 2024.
But we did break 4 million, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
Only in our dreams in previous years when we had less than $1 million. It just seemed, how are we going to possibly pay for any of this?
Any of it.
Any of the parks we need?
And do we have any potential others coming in that aren't included on here yet?
That was mine.
Or is everything on this list?
Well, this is everything that's come in.
Okay,
So anything up until now this is what we got.
Okay,
But
like-
as far as like additions go, I gotta talk to Kevin and Natalie and,
like maybe the upcoming Tavera additions, maybe. I'm not sure which one they're on right now. I'd have to go back and look.
you know, I'm
It's
trying
going to
think
grow.
of
I guess that's my point, is it should continue to grow.
Yes. And I will note, the RFPQ, that would come out of park dedication. I don't know if I said that earlier,
Mm-mm,
sorry.
that's good to know.
Does that change anything with the earlier motion? Do we have to go back?
No, that's exactly what park dedication is for. so-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
just in case.
yep,
So I can look into, additional money coming in, and I can look into general fund a little more, just get a
Yeah.
finalized answer, and then there was one other thing. Interest,
Interest.
I'm
I
good.
think it might tentatively be on this, the council schedule already for 2024, the interest,
Nice.
yeah.
All right, other business announcements?
how are we doing? Oh, I skipped to them. Sorry, jumped to them.
Yeah. Liaison schedule?
I got excited. Is anyone here able to do?
I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would you still like the 18th? That's a Monday of December.
Well, let's leave it on there for now. If we get a new commission member between now and then, we toss that person into the meeting right before Christmas. A great introduction to Parks and Trails. I'm retired. Well, actually, my calendar gets so full.
Yeah, it doesn't,
Isn't it amazing?
How'd
Yeah,
you ever have time to work?
just see her,
yeah.
see you
And-
retired and they're knocking on your door.
Yeah, well, yeah, trips to the doctor and, yeah, all that stuff too. All right, it's not Parks and Trails business, sorry.
That's okay. We're casual around here.
We are very casual. Any other business before the commission? All right, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank
I
you.
second.
Further discussion, all in favor say aye.
I.
Aye.
All right, meeting is adjourned, thank you.